The Denver South Park and Pacific Railroad was a historic 3-foot narrow gauge railroad that operated in Colorado in the late 19th century. The railroad opened up the first railroads to a large section of central Colorado. The railroad took its name from the fact that its main line began in Denver, ascended the Platte Canyon, and traversed South Park, with the hopes of going to the Pacific Ocean. Founded in 1872 by former Colorado Territorial Governor John Evans, at its peak the South Park line had 335 miles of narrow gauge line, making it the largest narrow gauge railroad in the state of Colorado. The railroad began at Denver's Union Station with the intent of going up into the central Colorado mountains, but first a small 9-mile branch of the main line connected to Morrison. From there, the company's main line went up the valley of the South Platte River to the town of South Platte, then followed the North Fork of the South Platte towards Buffalo Creek and Bailey. West of Bailey, the route along the North Fork through the end of the Tarryall Mountains essentially followed the route of the present-day 285 to Como, where it branched northward. From Como, the main line traversed South Park up and over Trout Creek, past Fairplay and Alma, and ended up going down into Buena Vista. From there, it traversed the Sawatch Range through the Alpine Tunnel to Pitkin and Gunnison. The distance between the main line and from Denver to Gunnison was approximately 208 miles. Now, a principal branch from the main line north from Como went over Boreas Pass to Breckenridge, Dillon, Keystone, Frisco, and Climax, and terminated at Leadville. Construction began in Denver in 1873, and the first tracks reached Morrison in 1874. This branch provided a healthy income from the start, shipping stone, lumber, and coal from Mount Carbon. The tracks reached the mouth of the Platte Canyon in 1878, 20 miles from Denver, and by June 2nd, the tracks had reached 12 miles up the canyon. The tracks reached Buffalo Creek on June 17th. The following year, on May 19, the tracks reached the summit of Kenosha Pass, and on June 27th, they had reached Como. The original roundhouse at Como has been restored and is presently in use in the operation of a 3-foot narrow gauge locomotive. An operating turntable is also installed in the original turntable pit. From there, the railroad was very profitable, which allowed a steady flow of money to help construction costs. In late 1879, the tracks reached the summit of Trout Creek Pass. However, a mining boom near Leadville resulted in a construction race between Denver South Park and Pacific and the Denver and Rio Grande Railroad, with both reaching Buena Vista in early 1880. Rather than having both companies lay track to Leadville, a deal was made called a Joint Operating Agreement on October 1 of 1879. However, in 1884, the DNRG ended the joint agreement, which forced the Denver South Park and Pacific to build their own line. This began in Como and went over Boreas Pass to Breckenridge, following the Blue River to Frisco, across Fremont Pass, and ending in Leadville. Meanwhile, construction continued with from Buena Vista past Mount Princeton to what would become the Alpine Tunnel. The Alpine Tunnel was completed on July 26, 1881, with its highest point being at 11,523 feet. The last locomotive passed through the tunnel in 1910. The main line reached Gunnison in 1882, and essentially no more construction was completed. The Colorado and Southern Railway took over the former Denver South Park lines in 1899, and the construction of modern roads in the Rockies led to the decrease in traffic, and it officially closed in the spring of 1937. The last regular freight train operated between Denver and Como on April 25.